How absurd is it that the foreign minister of the #1 state sponsor of terrorism that aspires to destabilize the Middle East is here today to address the Council? Can you imagine Hitler's foreign minister participating in a serious discussion on how to defend the Jews during the Holocaust? This is an upside-down world.
Mr. President, the Wall Street Journal reported on December 1st that the U.S. had provided at least 15,000 bombs and 57,000 artillery shells to Israel, including more than 5,400 huge 2,000-pound bombs that can flatten entire neighborhoods. The Washington Post reported that in just 6 weeks after October 7th, Israel dropped more than 22,000 American-supplied bombs on Gaza. 22,000 American-supplied bombs. CNN reported that nearly half of these bombs were unguided, so-called dumb bombs.
It's with a heavy heart again that I'm participating in the debate today. Throughout December, alongside the Pope and the Archbishop of Canterbury, I sought to shed light on the suffering of Christians in Gaza City, which include my own family. And may I express sincere gratitude for members across the House who have approached me in the last few days to ask how they are. While the media attention did mitigate the immediate dangers, the plight of Gaza's residents persists, living hand to mouth, drinking unclean water, and wondering how on earth the world is letting this happen. But I am equally concerned on the impact it is having on the streets in the UK. We are seeing a rise of anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim hate, and it is unacceptable and must be called out. Absolutely.
They ask us where our Nelson Mandelas are. We say that our Mandela is suing you criminals at The Hague right now for genocide. We say that our Mandelas are the children that have resisted over 7 decades of occupation standing in front of Israeli tanks. We say that our Mandelas are the Walid Dahdours and the Mu'tazas of the world who continue to hold up cameras to your genocide unintimidated.
So, Chair, what does this tell us? Well, firstly, it tells us that early on in the war, the Foreign Office had serious concerns about Israel's breaches of international law. Second, it tells us that government ministers have hidden this fact, pretending in Parliament and in the media that they had confidence in Israel's commitment to international law. And then third, Chair, it tells us that we should have absolutely no confidence in the government's arms export licensing regime, which ministers boast as being the toughest regulations anywhere in the world, but which is clearly grossly inadequate.
And while innocent Iranians swing from the gallows, Minister Abdelhayan will sit here and lecture us on the sanctity of human life. Iran is even responsible for arming and training the Polisario Front to carry out terror attacks in Morocco, and its hegemonic ambitions can be felt in Sudan, Mali, and Niger as well. But Iran's terror doesn't end only in the Middle East or Africa. Albania was hit with an Iranian cyber attack. And as we all know, Iranian drones are being used by Russia to kill civilians in Ukraine. Iran's terror will reach all of you. We all know this, even Russia, who collaborates with Iran.